If you've been working on Salesforce for a while, you know dealing with email messages, events, and contacts can be a challenge in your daily process. You want to keep all the records in your Salesforce org updated, but you need to use a different email and calendar platform. And accessing relevant information can be challenging. Inaccurate information may be the least of your worries. If you do not carefully observe how your team works in their daily lives and make things easy for them, Salesforce adoption may suffer. In this video, I will show you how you can integrate your email and calendar platform with Salesforce using Revenue Grid. This video is sponsored by the good folks at Revenue Grid. Revenue Grid is well known for its revenue intelligence product that runs on top of Salesforce. This product supports your revenue growth, speeds up your sales cycles, and improves your pipeline visibility. You can also use their product as a productivity boosting platform that helps keep data between Salesforce and your email and calendar applications up to date. Revenue Grid does everything Einstein Activity Capture does and more. I will show you what the product does and what it doesn't by playing with it on my screen in a tutorial style video as usual. Let's get right to it. Revenue Grid works with your email client. It can work with Gmail, Microsoft Outlook, and different versions of it, on-premise, in the cloud. Now I'm using Gmail, and what I have done was I sent myself an email from this Gmail account that I use for Salesforce Break. And this one says, I'm interested in your services. Can you give me information, right? So there is a configuration that you need to do for your Revenue Grid installation. It's not that difficult, but you need to use, if you're using Gmail, you need to use the Chrome add-in, and that's going to be running right here on the right panel for you, right? So if you have not logged in yet into your Salesforce or using this Revenue Grid application that comes with your Chrome, you need to do that. And then once you do that, you have access to pretty much all of the relevant Salesforce functionality on the right panel. And once you get an email like this, if you have your panel open, it's going to ask you whether you want to save that email to Salesforce. And it's going to also ask you, we have identified this is a new email that we don't have, because if this email is known to Salesforce and Revenue Grid, you're going to see matching lead, contact, and accounts over here. It's going to ask you whether you want to create a contact, a lead, or you have also the option of saying, I don't want to track any of the emails that are coming from this account. So that's this button right here. So I'm going to go ahead and create a new lead from this. All right. So the new lead is going to be Harvey, as it says on the email, Harvey Dent. And the company is going to be Salesforce Break Demo. And let's put in the title the RG Demo. And, I can choose all kinds of field values over here. You actually get pretty much like page layout that you can use to create the lead record. And once you create this one, you'll see the progress bar here, and you'll know immediately that the record was created in Salesforce because you see the record here. That means it's a lead record, and it's an open lead here, right? And obviously what you would want to do in this case is you would want to save your email and associate that email with that lead record. So let's say I want to save this email, and it is associated now with the lead record. And I have also the option of adding the email as an attachment to the lead record. So the email is logged in Salesforce anyway, but you can also attach the email itself in the format that's used on most platforms to the lead record. And you have the option also of adding the attachments, if you have any attachments in the email, as a file on your Salesforce instance. So I'm going to go ahead and save this one. And now the operation has been done. Now, when I create a lead in my Salesforce org, I can go here and then I can log a call against it. I can use the email templates to send out an email to this lead, and I can create a task, an event, and I can also convert when the time comes to this lead to a contact. And I have also direct link here to open this record in Salesforce. That's also very useful. Once you click on that one, that's going to take you directly to your Salesforce org. And in your Salesforce org, you are going to see the lead Harvey Dent. And you'll see also the email right here as an activity. And you'll see that the email has been logged here with all the details. And that's very useful. And in my related records, I'm going to see also under files the email saved in EML format that I can open in any other email client that I want. Now, it's not going to show me a preview because Salesforce doesn't know what to do with that file right now. So let's go back to that email that we received from this new lead, Harvey Dent. And let's write an email back to this person. When I send back an email, I have the option of either using the Salesforce email templates, and Revenue Grid also has its own email templates that I can use to send emails back. I'm not going to use a template right now, and I'm going to say, please see our website at https salesforcebreak.com. And what I would want to probably do is also include some time slots. Let's keep that actually for the next email and see, well, let me know if you have any questions, right? All right, let's send it. And this email over here can also be saved either automatically or manually to Salesforce. So I'm going to say I want to save this email again to the lead, right? Now this is the reply now. Please remember that all these emails are going to be saved to Salesforce in a threaded format. So this email trail is going to be trackable. And Revenue Grid also has the option of including a tracking pixel in emails. That way you know whether the other person received your email and they opened it or not, right? So you'll see here, actually Revenue Grid added a tag to my email saying Salesforce emails tracked successfully. So that's actually one of the emails now Revenue Grid is tracking for me. Now I have my Salesforce Break Gmail open here. I received the reply from the website, and it says go to salesforcebreak.com and let me know if you have any questions. And I'm going to reply and say, can we set up time to review? All right, send this one. And now I received the email back from the lead. And you may have noticed here, I have down below on the right side, a button called engagement. And when I click on that button, the engagement button, I can see that this email is being tracked over here. And then I can see the whole discussion. I can go to that email by clicking on it. And I can see when it was opened and all kinds of statistics about it. And all these can be reported on. Now, the cool thing about Revenue Grid is that the information that Revenue Grid tracks about your interactions are all in Salesforce, which means you can actually report on those inside Salesforce. You can see how many activities you have against one lead, one contact, or an account. And you can also see who, as a user, is interacting with your clients or potential clients. That's all reportable as long as you choose to do so, because you can obviously block some of the information or activity going to Salesforce. So let's open this email again. And we are going to save this email because our settings are not to automatically save emails. We have to select to save the email. And I can just do that by clicking over here, and it's going to save to the lead. And let's try another functionality here. And here we can see that we have all the leads and all the contacts, all the different records that we can choose. Let's try another functionality here, and then do the time slots. And now we are going to send back the lead, the time slots that we have available to meet. So we're gonna say, okay, well, we can meet for 30 minutes, and we are going to associate this time slot with this new lead, Harvey Dent. It's already recognized. And we are going to give them a couple of options. And we can do that like many other popular calendar applications or platforms. We can actually go to our calendar and then propose times. Like, for example, this would be a potential time. This would be a potential time for us to meet, right? Two alternatives this afternoon. So I'm going to finish now. And this is going to add a block to my email that's totally clickable. And it is going to allow for the lead to choose a time that best suits them to meet with me, right? So they can either meet with me at 2:45 p.m. or 4 p.m. So let's write our personalized message on top. And send it. Now I'm playing the role of the lead, so I'm going to go and select one of these times here. And I'm going to select 2:45 Eastern Time, Eastern Daylight Time to meet. And this is going to book the meeting and send an email to the person. And all the details are here. And this is the email that was sent to Andy here Okay, now that we have interacted with this lead and we know that they're interested, let's go ahead and convert this lead. We have actually a menu here, and that menu on Revenue Grid side panel allows me to convert the contact. And I'm going to create a new account, and I'm going to create the account. Now let's see what happened inside Salesforce. Now inside Salesforce, I have an account called Salesforce Break, and under the account, I have a contact called Harvey Dent. Now these are converted, and I have an opportunity called Web Opportunity. Now under the account, I see that the emails are logged here, and I can also see that the emails are also associated with Harvey Dent, the contact, and the Web Opportunity, the opportunity. And I can also see that I have actually an event coming up today that has also been created for me with Harvey Dent. Now, my time zone settings are actually different apparently in this org. Is it showing the correct time? Let's just check. Oh, so it's showing start time 11:45 and end time 12:15. There's a time zone differential here, but that's totally fine. And this is how the appointment looks like, the meeting looks like in my Salesforce calendar. A couple of things to note here. Revenue Grid is highly customizable. You can actually set up this panel the way you want, and then you get a lot of access to your Salesforce org. In fact, if you're like a salesperson, you may not even need to go into your Salesforce org that much anymore. So you can go in here and work on leads, contacts, accounts, opportunities, cases, all kinds of different records. And you can also search your Salesforce org right from here. In fact, the interactions I have just created, the recent items just automatically show up here. But I can also search for other stuff. Like, for example, I want to search for Tony Stark. I had created a contact for Tony Stark, and I can see that Tony Stark is in my org, and I can just directly edit the record right from here. I get the pencil right here to edit my field values. And like I said, this page layout is completely customizable. You pretty much get like a window to your Salesforce org right on the right panel of your favorite email account. And then you can see the related records, all the notes and attachments, and you can log a call, create a follow-up task, and use email templates from within the Salesforce org, or use the email templates that you set up with Revenue Grid right from this panel. And you see you can attach files, which could be very valuable, especially when you're working on quotes in contracts and redlining stuff, emailing back and forth with clients. Could be quite useful. You may be asking yourself, why would you use Revenue Grid when you have Einstein Activity Capture with Salesforce? Einstein Activity Capture is an add-on on top of Salesforce, and Revenue Grid reports that they have much more functionality compared to Einstein Activity Capture. And they have a web page set up for this. I'm going to drop the link down below for you to review it. And there is a lot of information. I'm going to quickly scroll down and point out a few things on the comparison table. And what Revenue Grid says is they support custom objects, and the activities that you are recording will be associated with the custom objects that you choose. With Einstein Activity Capture, that's not possible. Everything that Revenue Grid records is inside your Salesforce org, so you can actually use the report builder to report on those activities. And apparently, again, Einstein Activity Capture does not provide that functionality. And the activities functionality out of the box is extended with Revenue Grid That means you can have API accessible records, and you can build automation on top of those flows, Apex automation. And the two-way sync is available with Revenue Grid, which means when you create an event inside Salesforce, that's going to create a meeting in Outlook or Google. And the attachments can be saved as files inside Salesforce. Recurring events, event reminders are supported. And regarding the records retention, Einstein activity capture can only go up to 24 months, and with Revenue Grid, you're only limited by the storage you want to dedicate to this, and you can actually record and keep a very long history with Revenue Grid. And the good folks at Revenue Grid also take pride in the support that they provide to their clients when they are using their products and services. That's all, folks. This wraps up the video for Revenue Grid. Make sure you check out the links that I'm providing below and contact Revenue Grid for their products and services.